Hey there, Pony, this is PotterBrony, and welcome to another blind reaction of some MLP Fanwork. This time we have, from Little Shy FiM, Everything Wrong With, the Cutie map, parts 1 and 2. As always, the links are in the description below, be sure to support him over there. And yeah, was waiting until part 2 came out, so that I could just do the premiere as one video. Been looking forward to seeing what he says about the castle in this one, because previously seasons 1 through 3 it was he always sang the theme, and then it was those darn wings or whatever adjective he used for each particular one for season 4. Now I know he's gonna skip past them unless he does both. I know he's gonna skip past the wings and move on to the castle, and I want to see what he says as far as because he's made his feelings on the castle known before. At least he's talked about it in the season 5 premiere Bronies React thing. I forget exactly what he says, but I don't think it was I don't think it was positive. Anyway, let's just get it started. See what these videos have in store for us. Let's start the first video in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Finger-shaped castle.
Let's go through this one more time. We've been over it like a million
He's in the
times.
castle already.
Rainbow's frustration mirrors those of us not in need of the expositional recap.
I agree with
But that's not a sin,
Twilight didn't state an opinion, though.
in my opinion.
Football cards, arguing about football stats.
On second thought, maybe I'd better go with them.
Shy Horse actually finds this more horrifying than a dangerous adventure across Equestria.
But he's got a hawk fetlock rookie
How is
card.
that a sin
When in
as
doubt,
well?
just mash horse words together.
Looks like it's time for a road trip.
A road trip partially in the train and partially on hoof, that is. In other words, a road trip involving no road at all. Twilight's wing appears broken and backwards.
That's the place on the map.
You know, the map we had to leave at home. So actually, it may or may not be the place on the map. A recolored
Pretty sure it
Starlight
is.
reenacts animation from later in the episode.
Those smiles are bad news.
You might even say those smiles are in HD.
Are you an alicorn?
Nah, my horn's just a toilet paper roll I painted purple.
I'm Applejack, and this here's Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight Sparkle.
Double Diamond somehow remembers all of these names. Fluttershy struggles
Again,
to
how
manage
is that
her
a sin?
varied emotions. Worried,
Maybe he just has a
worried,
good memory.
happy, worried, worried.
Something's wrong. Whatever the name of this village is that we're in right now.
Content as we may be calling it our town, we never do hear the name of the village. Rarity looks at two things at once.
How did you hear of our little
Derpy Verdi.
Let's just say we found it on a map.
Starlight doesn't even think to inquire about the map her isolated village is apparently on. This unicorn turns into an earth pony.
Now every pony wins!
It doesn't work that way, Starlight. I just lost the game. Princess Luna disapproves. Also,
She
that
would.
line is almost too deep for this show. Starlight pauses for a moment to
Not
remind
really.
us that these two are voiced by the same person. Forget energy drinks. Learning to conform with others is what really gives you wings.
I don't think we should judge them.
That's the kind of attitude which
That's a
would
good
be
joke.
betrayed by an evil spirit of chaos, Fluttershy. Also, Dash wasn't judging them. They said to give up their cutie marks, and Dash responded. Fluttershy's line at this particular point implies she's already willing to lose her mark.
We assumed it was to help in some way. It doesn't seem like you need any help.
Twilight's about as dense as this cult is blatant.
No
Yeah,
one has ever
that
come
was
to our
a stupid
village and
moment from
wanted to
Twilight.
leave.
Would you look at that? Starlight just transformed into a giant red flag, but no pony else seems to have noticed. Expositing to
Except
self
all
out
of
loud
us.
and looking at the camera, sin combo. The cloak sign has more depth and detail than the actual cloaks.
We shouldn't be bickering like this in front of our new friends. Really, Applejack.
Careful, Fluttershy. One of your other personalities almost broke out there. Fun fact, 7 foals had to be exiled to achieve this perfect racial diversity.
I guess we'll take 6 muffins.
Silly Twilight, making
It's
the
equal.
classic mistake of ordering as a tourist without even checking the price.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope you
you
enjoy
gotta be
our
careful
little
with that.
village.
Careful, Sugar Belle. Your sunset is showing. This guy is going to be mopping for a very long time. Common trope or not, Pinkie is restored in the very next shot. Creepy subliminal decapitation.
Yeah, but that's
frame.
Pinkie.
There's no way Double Diamond can't hear them. What are the odds? 6 conveniently empty slots right next to each other. There's about
Yeah, grouped
100
perfectly.
marks in here, which would indicate 9 beds per house. But in the future, we see at least one house with only 1 room and no beds. Starlight having a whole house and bed to herself should have been more than enough to spark rebellion.
Oh, some ponies were telling us how much they miss
I
their
never
cutie
thought of that.
marks and Pinky. Oops.
You should never trust the one pony to have a promise named after her, apparently.
Yeah.
Twilight teleports herself mere feet away instead of all of her friends safely out of the cave. The real question
And then
is,
winds up
thinking
to
of
try
that
to
call
cast
while their
him.
marks are in the vault. Does it go to voicemail? To be
Twilight
continued.
could have ended it easily there, but then we wouldn't have episode 2. Yeah, that's a punishment. Man, did you actually turn to 3D? I don't have those types of 3D glasses.
Used to ride these babies for miles.
Those look like the red and blue type of 3D. I have to watch that sometime to see if it actually does go 3D. If you actually added a decent 3D effect to the damn thing. I gotta find some 3D that I don't think I have any around here. Or any at all, actually. So, that was part 1 of the Cutie map. Everything wrong with. By Little Shy FiM. Moving on to part 2. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
Exceptionalism is alive. Free yourself from your cutie mark.
Previously on My Little Pony. This
Oh,
rude
is this it?
gesture, the equal sign, is
Okay,
a
so
simple yet
that's what he's
perfect
doing so
symbol
far.
to represent Starlight's cult. But the very moment it's elongated and rotated, it becomes inappropriate edgelord bait. It's okay, Dash. Everyone has tried to push a pull door at some point. Dash's hoof can shoot shadows. Fluttershy's nostrils briefly visit her cutie mark.
Even tweets don't make sense anymore.
They knew exactly what they were doing. Applejack
Yeah.
snaps and attempts to murder Rainbow Dash.
I saw
I
that too.
can't even make countryisms no more.
Look at the bright side. At least your grammar is intact. Also, you can add countryism to the list of ponyisms. Ponyism, a word or phrase that may not have been invented by MLP, but because of MLP, ponies are now in the top search results.
Maybe it'll be super fun to be all the same.
That's
Not just fun, but efficient
it's
and
good. I like
profitable
that.
as well. This clock never moves. Stop. Equal time. They're provided ample food and water, but no beds, nor toilet for that matter. Also, this shot gives you a good sense of how large these buildings are. Yet Starlight's house somehow has multiple rooms and stories.
Or we can just walk out. It's the perfect plan. I guess.
The only thing that's changed about Pinky is her increased self-awareness.
They'll just let us out when they think we've accepted their philosophy.
Plotting escape loudly enough to be heard outside.
But they're never gonna believe we switched over in just one night.
There's one of us they might believe.
Plot hinges on Fluttershy being such a gullible pushover. Starlight's brainwashing process is creepy, but has one major flaw. Why keep them all together? It's only because of their unity that Starlight's lies revealed at all. Also, even if Starlight was successful in brainwashing the main 6, it could spell disaster for her village once friends and family come looking for them. Not to mention Equestria's military response once they realize a princess is missing.
Fluttershy will have a
Yeah, that's a good point.
Didn't you see what just happened out there?
Dash reveals their secret plan directly to one of the crazy
And
ponies.
Discord.
If Party Favor sees how much we really do like each other, even though we're all different, maybe we can use him to spread our message to the rest of the village.
2 things. 1, is their plan to put up a facade of happiness to convince others of their philosophy? Because that sure sounds familiar. 2, here they go again, plotting their escape within earshot of their captors.
I don't understand why you wanted me to bring them here.
Sounds like Double Diamond was able to retrieve the marks himself. Not only is this a job Starlight probably would have wanted for herself, but how did he keep them from flying away when the vault was opened? How could an Earth pony even reach up here? Fluttershy doesn't duck out of view because she knows Starlight is blind. Starlight hears this barely audible gasp, yet somehow no pony heard Fluttershy loudly talking to herself. Double nostril.
Wait! I'd like to lock them in.
Starlight doesn't deem this to be suspicious in the slightest. Highly
Yeah.
offensive face should be censored immediately.
A pony with a different cutie mark in our midst would destroy.
Yeah, sure, that's what you think about that.
Oddly specific, soon-to-be self-incrimination. It's great symbolism to restore the marks with the same thing associated with removing them, but hurling a twig at this vault shouldn't be nearly so effective. Also, reference to a reference of a reference. Thanks Celestial, the glass randomly disappears, otherwise some pony might have gotten hurt. This pony suddenly notices that we're watching her. Fun fact, taken out of context,
Holy
this
crap.
is the world's least impressive
That was horrifying.
transformation scene. A secret tunnel on the second floor is much less practical than simply utilizing the bedroom on the first floor. Doing that would have also hindered Fluttershy's secret chimney escape last night. Fluttershy doesn't think to use the aforementioned method to gain entry. Applejack knocks this over in the name of random violence. Starlight levitates
And looks so happy about it.
using her horn.
These are my old skis.
How convenient.
We'll never find her in there.
At least not within the next 2 minutes before the credits roll. If only we had more time.
Yeah, if only.
Editor includes an out-of-place Wilhelm scream to win a bet.
Was it really the win a bet? I'd like to hear the story behind that Wilhelm scream. That was weird.
It's only a matter of time.
You are not special. You are not a beautiful or unique snowflake.
Yeah, this has been done.
You are the same decaying organic matter as everything else.
I think that was in an anthology video. Alright, so that was episodes 1 and 2, parts 1 and 2 of the Cutie map, the season 5 premiere. And so far I'm liking what he's doing. He got rid of the wings, but it's referencing how the castle looks like somebody giving the finger, which I didn't notice until he said it. So, he had said it before in some video somewhere. But yeah, it was definitely Little Shy who pointed that out to me. Not personally, but I wouldn't have noticed if he didn't make a video showing. You know what I mean. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. But I'm gonna end this one here. Until next time, take care.